Welcome to the latest Marsh Parsons property update, and I've got lots to update you on. The year kicked off in January in extraordinary fashion. I've never seen anything like it, with property coming onto the market and selling within literally a matter of days. Prices rose very rapidly, probably more so than I've ever seen it in the first 3 months of the year. Outside central London, interestingly, more than central London. So Clapham went up 25% year on year to the end of April, and Balham 26%. So really amazing. Properties in prime central London have done extremely well. Not as well as outer prime London, but extremely well, with Kensington and Chelsea going up year on year 13 or 14%, still exceptional. But what's happening now is that there is more property coming onto the market. Still a good amount of buyers, but the buyers per property have shrunk as we predicted they would, from around 24 buyers registered per property at the start of the year to about 18 at the end of April. Each quarter we look at the premium people are prepared to pay to live in prime central London compared to just outside prime central London, places like Balham and Clapham and Fulham. In the first quarter this is shrunk to 42%, which is the lowest for some years. Therefore, in my view, prime central London has really lagged behind a bit and has some catching up to do. Even though at long last there's more property coming onto the market, there is still an extraordinary amount of buyers coming into the market. In the first quarter of the year, 78% of our buyers were UK buyers. We still have plenty of Europeans, Americans, Middle East buyers, Asian buyers around, but actually the UK buyers have, I think, found a new sense of confidence in London. They've seen what's going on, they've seen the capital returns that are available, and really it is a safe store for their money. The vast majority of these investors are buying for capital growth. Sure, the rental returns are pretty good, more than you get in a bank, but the capital returns have been, and in my view will continue to be, exceptional. Nearly 50% of our sales in prime central London are to cash buyers. Quite frankly, mortgages are available, but with bank interest rates at 0.5% or 1% and borrowing rates at 3.5%, 4%, people are using their cash, spending their cash, buying property. The mortgage market has changed. In the last week, we have the mortgage market review, which means if you're looking to buy at the moment, my strong advice is to go and see a mortgage broker as soon as possible. This will definitely slow the market. It'll mean that you'll have probably a 2.5 to 3 hour meeting with a mortgage broker, and he or she will go through much of your life. Part of the reason we're seeing more property come onto the market for sale is that some portfolio landlords and some accidental landlords have decided that following several years of excellent capital growth, now is the time to cash in. This has led to more property for sale, but less property for rent, which has meant that some rental prices are now starting to rise. The corporate market also is in full swing, and certainly we're seeing that many London companies are hiring again, which has meant that the upper end of the lettings market has had a real boost in the first quarter of the year. Finally, there's been much talk of whether or not there's a bubble in London. Bubbles by definition pop, and I don't see this happening here. We're still seeing substantial demand in prime central London and central London as a whole. And we're seeing slightly increased supply, although we're still 50% less than the market prior to 2007. So in my view, there's plenty of slack to be taken up. Prices will definitely slow and are slowing now, thank goodness, because markets can't carry on the way they've been doing. I don't see much more growth this year, but towards the end of this year, prime central London will start to surge ahead once more.